Welcome to Macro Magic. I'm Sheri Damaris, and with me is Michele Dirks, who's been on the show a number of times, and I'm so excited to have her since she's been teaching in Ireland recently with her Food and Herbs as Medicine School. And today we're going to talk about infusion, and we've got these beautiful flowers. Before we started the show, she was showing me all the different qualities about them, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy learning all these great techniques that Michele has up her sleeve. So welcome, Michele.
Thanks, Sheri. Thank you. Over COVID, I decided to go back and study in Ireland. I'm from Ireland, and after 30 plus years here, I went back to, it's called Antonaglas. It is the Organic College in Drumcolor, County Limerick, Ireland. And it has been a complete changed my life. Studying and teaching here, and my classes are Food and Herbs as Medicine, and they were just lovely here, and I have continued that process over in Ireland, and just a lot happening at this time, and it's summertime. The heat is just completely unbelievable. And what do you do for all that harvest that's coming up, and everything is getting sunburnt? So what do you do to harvest this magnificent plant material that we have growing everywhere in our gardens? So I'm just here to tell you a little bit about oil infusion and vinegar infusion and a little bit of water infusion, all just to help you in this weather. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to talk about calendula, this beautiful, beautiful flower that grows everywhere, that has a very kind of like a resiny taste, or even a resiny feel. You can actually eat it. So this is an edible flower called calendula, and grows in Ireland as well, and we're using it for teas, and we're using it for skin issues, and also makes beautiful skin cream. So Sheri was just saying to me, one of our teachers, Evelyn Cushi, this was one of her favorite creams, which I did not know about. So it's now one of mine. Mm-hmm. It's called Liquid Gold. And so this is an orange calendula, and this is a beautiful yellow calendula. So again, if you want to pick everything, don't pick it early in the morning because they'll be quite tight. They open up quite a bit by around 11. I usually pick all my medicine plants that I'm going to use medicinally before noon. Okay, so what I do then is I just take a little paper towel, you can do a brown paper bag, and just open up, very, very slightly open up the actual flowers and place them on a paper towel. This is for any little bugs or anything that basically that are in there and you want to move them out before you make your oils, okay? So because the weather is so beautiful here, everything is dried within a day or two. So you could leave this on a sunny window, or you can just leave it on your counter and it's dried very, very quickly. This is it dried. So just look how it shrinks.
Nice.
So calendula is antifungal, antibacterial. It's a wound healer, and again, a beautiful nourishing cream for the skin. So this is it dried here, and it was dried in the last few days. And again, very light and airy, beautiful smell. And you can also use it as a tea. So this you can pop in to your water, put some warm water over it and drink it, and you get an incredibly relaxing tea. But we're actually going to use it as an oil infusion. So an oil infusion means we're just going to use a little bit of olive oil. You can also use almond oil if you want. We're just going to use a little organic olive oil. And we will cover this. I like to use my calendula dried, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't want it to get moldy. But if you are doing it fresh, I would take this like tomorrow and add this in to a jar and about an inch above with oil, and put it out in the sun. We have beautiful sun here, so just put a little cloth over it with a rubber band, put it outside in the sun, and you will have the most beautiful sun-infused oil.
Gorgeous. And these flowers are so beautiful.
They are. They're absolutely beautiful. They make you so happy. And so basically that is calendula. Very, very simple. And then
Now,
what
I heard
happens?
Aveline also used that in your hair.
So I would say she used it for the scalp, but it has amazing healing properties. And so again, just like this out in the sun. Again, if you're putting it out in the sun, just put a little cloth over it with a rubber band and let the sun infuse it. Within a few days, you will notice that either the coloring here or the coloring with your fresh flour dissipates. That means it's going into the oil. And you just take it in, you can strain it out. I usually leave it like this for about 2 to 4 weeks. And then what you can do is strain it. And isn't that just unbelievably beautiful?
Gorgeous. So how long will that keep?
That will keep for a good 6 months to a year. Again, I have used dried calendula here, so there's no moisture in it. So the mold content won't be that high. Again, in Ireland, the sad thing is we have an incredible amount of moisture, and if we use too many fresh flowers, the moisture content can be high and you will get like rings of mold. Then you know your oil can't be used. But I like to do it in smaller jars because smaller jars you won't waste too much oil. So start your experimenting with your flowers and anything you have that you think you could infuse, which I'll explain in a minute. It could be also dandelion.
Can you use different oils or always olive oil?
You can use different oils, so you can use almond oil. Sunflower oil is very light and airy on the skin. Some people use safflower oil, some people use avocado oil. So anything that you really, really like to use, you can make your own creams, which is fantastic. Not only that, this is a lovely way of giving presents. So this is an oil. This is actually probably calendula infused in sweet almond oil, and this is with some vanilla pod. So this is a roll-on. It makes an absolute gorgeous perfume.
Smelling like vanilla.
Gorgeous, gorgeous perfume. And also a lot of these are very uplifting. So if you're in your car and you come out of a meeting, or if you're in traffic jam and just literally put this on, the world just turns nice again. Again, this is a liquid sunshine gold, so that's what that's called. Again, dandelion flowers create beautiful skin cream as well, and skin oil, so the smell is just unbelievable.
So this is actually dried
dandelion flowers,
and
that's
so tiny.
They shrink all the way down.
Wow,
and again, you
they
can
smell
just
interesting too.
place them on your towel like this, and yeah, everything will be dry in a few days. So then this is it here, dried. So that's one form of, this is one way of infusing oil. This also is lemon verbena. So lemon verbena has this beautiful, beautiful lemon mint taste. Wonderful aromatic herb, and again, lovely infused in oil as well, okay? So another great thing is with the Bounty.
So do you need to dry this before putting it in the olive oil?
What
or
I
do you
would
put it in
do
fresh?
is, do you see what I'm doing here? Take the leaves off and just let them sit. And within a day, especially in this heat anywhere, you've pretty much semi-dried. The nutrients are still in it. And so, because it's not dried in a dehydrator or anything like that. So yeah, this is a lovely way to dry it for a tea or for an infusion, but also delightful to put in water. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes.
Yeah, the smell is super relaxing.
It is incredible. So it's wonderful as a tea before going to bed. It totally relaxes the nervous system and just a lovely, yeah, all time.
So for the tea, you can use fresh.
For the tea, you can use fresh.
Okay.
Absolutely. So there, I just put little, I have paper towels everywhere, everywhere literally, with dried material, okay? So another great thing you can do with oil, but before we go, I just want to tell you how important calendula is. So in on Tonna Glass, we have actually put calendula in with our beets, in with our cabbages and kale. So they're intermittently planted, and we also have breaker beds with calendula in it. What happens is, for pest and disease control, the aphids and a lot of the will actually go to the calendula first and leave our lovely vegetables alone.
So you call those breaker beds?
We call them breaker beds,
nice.
or intermittently planted through your vegetables, and that's what you can do as well. So yeah, great thought for next year when you're planting. Another really lovely oil is, if you don't mind handing me that little wild flower bunch. Thank you. So these I picked just before I came, and this is here. This is basil, okay? And as I say, basil in Ireland, which I have a hard time still saying. So basically what you want to do with the basil, okay, is take it out. And again, I like to use smaller jars just because personally I won't spoil oil. So you can just take your leaves off the stalk, okay? And I can sit it out for overnight as well. Or basically this has been pretty dried because we were driving and it was in a car. So I think it's pretty dried. So you could just take your leaves, gently even just chop them. I sometimes just like to do this with my hand. Okay.
While you're doing that, Michelle, we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to learn more about infusing with olive oil, or oil, vinegar, and water. Right?
Thank you.
Let's go, Walter. Up to you. Walter, 12 o'clock. Come on, bud, you're scaring him. Walter, Walter.
One evening as the sun went down and the jungle fire was burning.
Okay, last one.
Came a whole hiking. And I said,
Get him,
boy,
boy!
I'm not turning. I'm headed for a land that's far away beside the crystal fountain. So come with me, we'll go and see the big rock candy mountain.
That is incredible.
I know, right? It's the multi-flex tailgate. It can be a step, you can extend the bed, can even become a workspace.
I meant the cat.
What's so great about him? He didn't have a workspace. He's a cat.
The Chevy Silverado with the available multi-flex tailgate.
Walter, go get some firewood.
Find new adventures, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hello everyone, I'm Mark Iorio. I'm the host of Rainmakers Roundup right here on RVN TV. The show is about looking for people who are in competitive businesses that are doing something different and unique in the world of sales and marketing. Join me right here on Rainmakers Roundup on Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m. and then again on Thursday evenings at 6:30 p.m. right here on RVN TV.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Welcome back to Macro Magic. I'm Sheri Damaris with Michele Dirks, who we kidnapped from Ireland, and she's just shown beautiful calendula flowers, how to dry them, as well as basil and dandelion, and infuse them with oil. And now we're going to talk about infusing other
That's
herbs.
right. So again, this is just basil, and it makes a beautiful oil. It makes beautiful oil. So when you're like in the middle of winter going, oh my gosh, I would love something fresh, you have your own basil oil from the summer. So you have it just like this, covered in oil, the same way what we did with the calendula. You're just going to pour oil over it. And again, the weather is so warm and beautiful here, you can actually have sun-infused basil oil. Put it outside with just a little cheesecloth on top so bugs don't get in. And
For how long?
you could do it for about 3, it's so hot, I would do it for about 3 or 4 days. And you will have the most beautiful infused, it'll turn like the most gorgeous shade of pale green. And just then strain out the leaves and through a cheesecloth, and you can wring it out, and there'll be just a lovely green texture that will go in there. And label, please label everything, otherwise you will have absolutely no clue what you've just done.
The calendula oil.
That's right. Well, actually, it'd be okay to use as a salad dressing too. But this is absolutely delicious poured over pasta. So in the winter, you can just pour it over pasta. Use it actually as just as a regular oil when you're pan frying or doing any sort of pasta or
tofu, fried tofu.
Oh yeah.
So you can make this oil now and use it in the winter?
Yes, this will last a good year.
What makes it preserve so well?
Basically, it's just the oil itself just preserves the actual volatile aromatic herbs. Yeah.
But you should strain out the...
Oh yes, I would absolutely strain out the basil or whatever you have in here, and then you have the most divine oil. Again, if you see little bits of mold, you know it's gone. So that's why I like to do it in little jars like this, but also it makes great gifts. So people are thinking like, well, if you have a productive garden, so start making your gifts now. And you have beautiful gifts for Christmas.
That's beautiful.
So make sure it's covered, because if any of the plant material is above the oil, you can get mold. So, and again, it's super hot here, so nothing's going to get moldy.
Cheesecloth on it, put it outside for 2 to 3 days.
And if you don't want to do that, just put it by a very sunny window. You can absolutely do that as well. Another thing, instead of metal lids, you can use some plastic lids, and that's good for vinegar infusions because the metal will corrode and you don't want it corroding into your food. So right now, I'm just putting a metal lid on it right now. Okay, and just, you can see the beautiful, I'll put it down here, you can just see the beautiful shapes. And another one, easy peasy garlic oil, okay? So just cloves of garlic. Again, great for any earaches, and of course great for any sort of...
Great for pasta.
Or for pasta, for delicious garlic bread. So people have garlic, and there's garlic everywhere, so this is just a great way to make your own little garlic oil, all right? And I just put cloves of garlic, and again, an inch above. And somebody said to me, well, can you fill it all the way up? I'm like, yes, you absolutely can. This is just demonstrating. So make sure that you have it about an inch above your garlic cloves. And again, you can just sit it outside. And, sorry, that's not the lid for that. Here it is. You can just sit it outside, or again, just leave it at a sunny window. And then within about a month, what I suggest is you can actually blend it. When you blend it, you have your own gorgeous olive oil and garlic, and again, great for many different ailments. Also great for earache.
It's amazing that they don't go bad in the oil.
No, they don't.
The basil or the garlic.
This is another way of preserving. So again, yeah, it's extraordinary to see it actually. Again, please label all your food. This is another very interesting. This is another very interesting one. So again, cherries, blackberries, they're everywhere right now. I'm not sure about blueberries, but you could try blueberries. So this is a little more solid fruit, and cherries have a gorgeous taste. So again, in the winter, if you want to make a really nice dressing and you kind of go, oh, I'm not sure about these dressings, well, you can make a delicious raspberry dressing, a delicious cherry dressing, blueberry dressing, and all you need to do is just add apple cider vinegar. Again, apple cider vinegar is fermented, so you're actually fermenting your...
So you're pickling the cherries.
You're pickling the cherries.
Yeah, that's
and then just to add a little quirky, we're going to add just 2 cinnamon sticks. We're going to add 2 star anise seeds, okay, and a few cloves. And hey presto, again, look how gorgeous that looks. So what I do is label also the date, because you will have, honestly, when you have about 10 jars, you won't have a clue what you're doing. So again, just lid on in a dark cupboard, labeled. You can gently just, what could I say? Just gently shake it periodically. Shake it periodically, and within 4 weeks you have a gorgeous dressing. So again, great for gifts and great for...
So this is actually a salad dressing.
This would be a salad dressing. Absolutely delicious. And again, remove everything in 4 weeks. Just strain it out, label it, and you can put it in a little jar, and yeah, that's it. So you could do the same with blackberry, the same with raspberries, and you have the most gorgeous dressing. So again, all these, what happens is, this is the time for harvest, and what happens is all this comes in to the house, and we end up throwing away a lot. So that's really not good. So another great way to stay hydrated is water infusions, okay? So this one is with raspberry, cucumber, and something called holy basil tulsi. Beautiful, refreshing drink. So basically what you do is you get your jar, okay? You can also get a nice large container like this, okay? Depending on what you have or how you want to serve it. And then this is lemon balm. So lemon balm, extremely relaxing, just an absolute gorgeous, gorgeous herb to have. And so it's part of the mint family. So what you want to do is, a lot of people just drop it in. This is infused, again, tulsi. I put a little bit of dill in here, and lavender, and this is with lemon, okay? But with the lemon balm, or if I was doing the lemon verbena that we were talking about, it just gently roll it in your hands. The smell becomes completely intoxicating, and you can just add it straight in. So this is lemon balm.
So serious spas should take note of this, because I've had spa water before with cucumbers, but never with raspberries.
So and what you're doing is you're mineralizing your body. You're giving yourself fresh herbs. You're, you know, if we start to drink sparkling water, we lose minerals. And the most important thing is we don't want losing minerals in the heat. So we want basically, we want to be focused, we want to feel really good and light, and we're all carrying water around it with us. Why not carry it with some herbs?
And just putting those in is so refreshing. I know at home I always put cucumber or lemon in my water, and it's just more hydrating, I think, in the hot weather.
So this, we're just going to pop in, and again, this lid is a little small. I kind of just did this for presentation's sake, but you could put this into a larger container, and yeah, kids love it. Put some watermelon in there.
Look how colorful.
It's so gorgeous. And then the taste, if you have fennel in there, if you have a little bit of oregano and thyme, so you're giving it, they're antiviral, antibacterial. You're giving yourself this lovely, lovely uplifting taste. If you like cilantro, put cilantro in. Parsley, a little parsley, and it's just wonderful. So this absolutely is water here. Sorry. So again, just pour this in, but we could put blueberries in here as well. And again, it's whatever you have available.
So you have those tiny little limes in there.
Tiny little lime, you can add a lot more lime. Also, calendula is wonderful in here. If you don't mind giving me a calendula or two from the vase.
Oh, sure. So we're going to put more flowers in the drinks.
We're just going to add, that's right.
Better homemade cocktails without the alcohol.
This is very exciting to hear that calendula is one of Aveline's favorite oils without even knowing it.
These are just so beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's a lovely idea, and if you're having a picnic, way better than iced food, iced drinks, because honestly and truly, the iced drinks, this might just slip in there like that. Yeah, well, I'll just use a stop. And lime and calendula is absolutely beautiful together.
Who would have ever thought these combinations?
I know. So again, pretty, and we're just going to
So this one, do you leave out in the sun? Do you put it in
No,
your
you
fridge?
can just basically do this overnight, what I would suggest, and leave it sit overnight. So do it that evening before, and then you have this gorgeous drink throughout the day, the following day.
Nice. So we need to wrap up. I'd love to have you back. Did you want to show your dish that you made? With
Yeah, so basically this will float around for a little bit, and yeah, the next morning it makes a gorgeous, gorgeous tasting water. So this again is with the calendula. Calendula and basil seems to be the theme of this 30 minutes. So this is with hummus, okay? So the hummus has basil and parsley in there. It has a little lemon balm, a little lemon verbena, and then blended with just cucumber and, as you can see, and some calendula petals.
And a little basil on top.
So, you know, there's so much you can do with what is available.
Incredible. Well, how can people reach you? I know you're going back to Ireland and you're going to continue to teach your food and herbs as medicine, but how can people reach you if they want to buy your booklets, if they want some of these ideas?
Basically, my classes are kind of up and running again in September in Ireland. Yes, you can purchase my booklets. They go through 8 months of the year. This one is basically heart and small intestine, which we're pretty much in right now. And so you can purchase them. My email is treasurehousepress@gmail.com, and my classes are at Drumcolour in Ireland, but they will be also here in September. I'll be back and forth, so I intend every 2 to 3 months doing some classes here.
In the Pennsylvania area.
In the Pennsylvania area, yeah.
We love you, Michelle.
Thanks, Sheri.
You're just like so creative, and it's just art. You know, you really show how food can become art. So I'm so happy you came on the show.
Thanks a million.
Yes, and viewers, please go out and try some of these really easy drinks, especially now during the hot weather, or just try preserving some things that you can enjoy in the winter. And thanks for watching. Make sure to visit our website, macromagic.com, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.